attention, please. Call this order. Meeting to order. Board of Directors meeting for Wildewood Springs. Confirmation of proper notice.
Notice posted according to statutory requirements.
Just want to remind everybody, especially the board members, there are 9 microphones on the table. You must use the microphone or the people on Zoom will not hear anything. It's the way it's tied together, that's why we did it, so we could have the folks on Zoom hear everything as clearly as possible. You need to hold the microphone fairly close to in front of your mouth when you speak. Anybody in the audience, if you're going to speak, you must come up to the microphone, please, and speak directly into the microphone, not back here, because nobody can hear you. You got to be up close. And so that's the microphone etiquette that we need to all be mindful of. When the first person that steps up to that mic will need to turn it on, or Leslie, you can turn it on for us when the time comes. The wireless mics need to have a green light on it in order for them to work. And the other microphones are hot all the time. Thank you, Steve.
Also, when you step up to the microphone, state your name and your unit number, please. Okay, roll call.
Cookie Finch.
Here.
Roger Schultz.
Here.
I'm here. Shannon.
Here.
Steve Abul.
Here.
Dick Picola.
Here.
Danny Palmer.
He had a knee replacement. He won't be here today.
Oh. George Fisher. No. Monica Heigl.
I think they're on Cortez running around.
Anybody here from Palm Tree? Mark Howard.
Here.
Tam Alborn.
Here.
Tiffany Conklin.
Here.
Bart Carey.
Here.
Gus Miller.
Here.
John West.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Very good, thank you. President's comments. I usually write something up, but I did not. 45 minutes ago, let's see, I was sitting in the hot tub. Good news on the homeless front. It's we have seen no activity up on the 43rd Street side. They're still across the street by Applebee's, but all the little villages are not there. There's one place where there's a sleeping bag, but we have not seen any signs of anybody being there in probably a month and a half. So I think it's just abandoned. So hopefully that situation is not like it was last year. I don't have anything else at this time. We'll review the minutes. Everybody review them? Any questions on them? Any comments?
I do have a comment, Steve. At the very end, under the director's comments, the name of the church is in there incorrectly, and in the next meeting dates, the name of the church is in there correctly. Just wanted to... Incorrectly, yeah. It says Kirkland instead of Kirkwood. Just want to get it fixed so somebody's not looking for Kirkland Church. Thank you. Maybe George is looking for Kirkland. Thank you.
Do I hear a motion to accept? Dick Picola, second. Cookie Finch, thank you. Anybody opposed? Okay, minutes back accepted. Financial matters.
Okay, thank you. All right. We have our variances are pretty standard, perhaps for this time of year. On the grounds, we have an overrun of 11,000. That's a timing difference in when the tree trimming was done. Buildings, we have a staff shortage, so we're on the run there. That should remain like that for the rest of the year. Security is a timing difference with the contractor's billing. Pool and tennis is over to the week repairs, so we'll probably see that remainder through the year. Utilities is also a timing difference as well. For the investment report, we have, of reserve funds, we have $1.485 million invested in reserve funds. And we earned $35,000 in interest so far this year on that. And also during the month of October, being that we're collecting insurance money through the condo fees for payment of next March's bill, we took $400,000 of that and invested in CDs as well. So we'll be able to earn, in total, probably $6,000 in interest on that, so that will be a good thing. And those CDs and operating will mature right before the March due date. So in total, we have almost $1.9 million invested.
Accounts receivable.
Yes, I can very happily report that we're in very, very good shape on accounts receivable. As of November 15th, there's 2 units that owe more than 500, but less than a quarter. There were 7, but now there's only 4 units that own a quarter, and 1 unit owns 2 quarters. We had legal issues, as you all know, for quite an extended period of time, and 718 was the biggest problem, and it has been sold, and it was the judge gave them until the 30th of November to do so, and they sold it a couple of weeks ago. And we received a check for $22,570.84. They actually only owed in maintenance fees three special assessments, which turned out to be about $500 and about $2,800 in maintenance fees. But just to show you how things can happen if you don't square your obligations away, the rest of it is late fees, interest, and attorney's fees. So our attorney's fees now will go to under budget because when we apply them in this quarter to the attorney expenses, that will go down under budget. So collected $22,570.86 there. We also, the other ones that were listed, 2 others have paid in full. So we only have 2 issues now, 205 and 762. Section 762 is the one that always seems to be late. They've paid us over $30,000 in fees and late fees, and they're up again. So we're down really to 1 that is an issue. So very good shape.
Very good. Motto of that story is pay on time. Okay. Old business, building repairs.
Yes, I can report that we had a buildings committee meeting today, and we've sifted through the bids that we had to finish our project on the upper walkway slabs. And what's going to be done there, of course, will be the ceiling and the painting to contain water above and not let it seep down into the support systems, which is what we repaired, all 141 of them over the past year and a half. So we looked like that project was going to take us 2.5, 3 years, and we're able to get it done much quicker and about half the price. So now that we've finished that phase, the building committee reviewed the bids and having me negotiate with the contractor to see if we can find a little bit more money from his bid. So that'll be probably the work on that project will commence probably in January, is my guess. And again, the project was finished in less than 3 years and about half the price that we had anticipated it to be. So that project is working well too.
John, go ahead.
We've been in all the
asking about the stairways.
Yeah.
That's going to be our next major project to deal with it. Obviously, the metal railings will need to be painted, and we've taken care of the support systems on most, but there are treads that have to be replaced. As you know, we've been working without a carpenter for about 7 months. We have an interview with one tomorrow that may or may not turn out, but we have someone else on the line. So hopefully we'll be able to address any stair issues here again between now and Christmas.
Is that the next, well, is that the next one, the next item on our list of things to do in regards to that area?
We have about 11 things to do, John, but that's one of them.
I know, but it's kind of a continuation of the upstairs balcony, or I should say stairway, etc.
Well, it's part of our reserve monies that we're collecting under building reserve. So yes, it's an ongoing thing.
Okay, one other note on the second floor. Some of the earlier ones that we had done, we used the vinyl, glued down a vinyl tread. Some of that glue is coming up and out on some of the units. We are getting a hold of that contractor, getting it back to fix those. So I know they're all over the place, but there's particularly about 4 or 5 in the 600s where the glue is coming out. But we are addressing that.
That's correct.
Operations manual.
The ad hoc operation manual committee has had 5 meetings. We hope to be able to submit the completed manual to the board in January. The next meeting will be December 5th at 11 a.m. in the office.
Okay. Property insurance update. You want to be? I can.
Either way, okay. There's no update on the rates right now, obviously. As most of you know, this is I guess the wheel that's driving the budget and everything else. Currently, we are anticipating a huge increase. We've dealt with 4 different insurance providers or agents. Unfortunately, we go back to only one provider that's interested in providing insurance to the association because of the construction and the age. But, and the underwriters will not release what the rates could be until about 30 days before, and we renew on March 7th. So we're operating from projections more than anything else. It's hoped that we've put enough in the budget this year, double last year, which is tremendous, and that will cover it. We're told the rate increase could be anywhere from 50 to 150%. The budget committee worked diligently on it and decided to go with about in the middle of the 100%, and that's why that figure that you see in there is that right now. Last year, I can't pre-speak that money might come back, but if we come in at the 50, there will be an excess money. Last year we had to increase the quarterlies, the 3rd and 4th quarter because of the rate increase. If there's enough decrease, maybe we'll be able to decrease the 3rd and 4th quarter this year. That's something that's certainly on the table, and we'll take a look at it if we can. The association has, I know we've said this out many times, but I just want to make it clear to some of you who may not have heard this. The state statutes require the insurance associations to buy adequate insurance to cover the building values. Your documents require 100% or full value coverage. That means our valuation, which has to be valued every 3 years, was done last year. Our current buildings are valued at $92 million. So that means that according to our documents, we have to insure the buildings for wind damage and everything else for $92 million. Insurance companies are now working with models of storms, and when they model the storm, they see the damage. Because we're spread out, it's not one building that could be knocked over in a tremendous tornado or anything like that. And they say that a 1,000-year storm, once in 1,000 years, 1,000-year storm would cost damage to our association, the way it's constructed, would be about $11 million. So the difference between insuring to $92 million and say $11 million is tremendous. And so there will be an effort, excuse me, later on to form a committee to work towards possibly amending the documents to say adequate to go along with the state. And then as we move forward, the owners would have to approve that. And then, of course, we'd have to get the approval of any mortgage holder. So, in other words, if you have a mortgage and you vote to say, okay, let's go with $15 million instead of 92 or whatever the figure would be, we'd also have to get approval from your mortgage holder, and that's state statute. So there's some work ahead of this committee. I find it very, very interesting to find out, though, that my son's floodplain manager for the city of Fort Lauderdale, and I don't know if you've seen lately, they've had 2 major storms come in the last 2 weeks. Both of them were categorized at over 1,000-year storms because of the new intensification of the hurricanes. And so Fort Lauderdale's had 2 storms within 3 weeks that exceed 1,000-year storms. So it goes back and forth.
Okay, John.
Okay. John, you know I'm on the committee, so we've gone back and forth and around and can't find any way to get past these things. But I was thinking the other day, we keep getting called up by the fact that our buildings were built in 73, 78, somewhere in there, and that our roofs aren't up to the same standards as modern or new construction. If we were to change the roofs, put new roofs on there, would we get a discount on the insurance?
Yes, we would, but not to the level you might think. When we put the last coating on the roof, this was almost 6 years ago, the board had me also get some bids to replace the roofs that would take away the flat roof and everybody's problem with the water cascading over on the windows. And I'm sure you all know what that means, because they all experience it. And to put a pitch, and the price then, 6 years ago, was $5.4 million.
Oh.
So right now, we're probably looking at $6 to $8 million to see, but then you've added value to your unit, so it may be catch-22, John.
Well, my thought was, we've got in our budget right now to replace, reserves to replace the roofs every period of time. I think it's every 10 years. And I was thinking that if this was a simple situation of reconstruction, we showed that $1 million replaces half of the roofs. And maybe we could do half at a time and save money during that period of time to pay them off again. I don't know, but I can't find any other way to slide this through, up to including the lead houses we're looking at.
It's a conundrum, to say the least. And we do have monies coming in to replace those roofs in 12 years. Because when we, currently the way it is, and it could change, but currently the way it is, in about 4 years, we will start the resealing again because, or the resurfacing again, because the company has said that our roof structure itself is in very good shape, and they would warranty another 10 years for their product that we're currently under. But after that, that's not going to happen. And so therefore, in our long-range projection in your 20 years, you'll see a figure in there of about $5.5 to $6 million to replace the roofs. So the current plan that we're operating under is about 14 years to replace them. And I don't know that the value will come down any unless we change that 100% value. I mean, you may get 1 or 2 more companies interested in bidding on the proposal, but our value is not going to go down. And so therefore, as long as we have to ensure the full value, it's not an answer.
Well, I was just thinking that maybe there's a different classification for roofs that are new construction versus the old. Frankly, the new construction is all made out of wood and 2x4s, and we're sitting here with cement blocks. We've got the walls are much better than what they're creating today. The roof is the only thing that I can see would be different based on 73, 78, or today.
Well, we are original roofs, there's no question about that. The original roof that was built in 78, 79, and 80 is the roof there. It was a tar and gravel roof at one time. And about 20 years ago, a roll roofing was put on top of that. And about 6 years ago, we put the silicone covering on. And so that's what it is. So it is original, but I don't think it would change the values, John. It might even increase the value of the buildings with a newer roof. And maybe, as I said before, we could get a couple more insurance companies to bid on it, but that wouldn't necessarily, as long as we have to ensure the full value, it's going to be up there. So the best way is to just try to make the change if people want to do it.
Okay, let me add a couple things that some of you probably haven't heard. I have close friends in Wildewood, too. Spring Lakes, right across the boulevard. They just finished their budget for next year. Their dues, their maintenance fees have gone to $2,700 a quarter. And they are being assessed, I think, $1,700, I believe. It has to be paid by January 1st because their insurance doubled. That's Spring Lakes. Wildwood 2, they just had a meeting, and I think their maintenance fees are going up $200. Okay, well, that's where I get to. Yeah, they're at 18, they're going up to 2,200. 5 Lakes, I have a good friend there. He is an accountant, and he is working with their treasury because their books are just cooked. They replaced the roofs 2 years ago. They took out an $800,000 loan. They took out all their operating, all their reserves, and wrote a check. Their insurance is, they're going to find out the same time we do, January or February, and he is just scared to death of what's going to happen over there. We're in pretty good shape considering our neighbors right all around us. So, and hopefully, like John said, if our insurance comes in at 50 or 70%, then the board can get together and look at dropping our fees for next, the third and fourth quarter next year. So, Shannon, again, you're in charge of prayers to the insurance gods, whatever.
I hope you do better report this year.
Yeah, pray harder. Okay, moving on. Parking lots, driveway resealing. How's it coming down?
As most of you know, we're almost finished with all of Pinehurst, Sherwood, and Springdale. I got the schedules today for the rest of it, everything. And just in general, next week from today, they'll come back and resume. The reason that they're not here this week is the fact that they have the contract for the school board, and the schools are off this week, and so they're trying to get as many school parking lots done as they can during this period when they're away. But starting next Monday, A will be completed, which basically is just striping. And then Monday, E and K will, and now this will be all posted, so don't have to worry about writing it down. I just got it before we came over here. E and K will be Monday and Tuesday. Q and S will be Tuesday and Wednesday. This is the following week after Thanksgiving. W and X will be Wednesday and Thursday. R will be Thursday and Friday. And U and V will be Friday and Saturday. So what happens is they code it one day to cure, and then they put the and they put the lines down, and then you can drive on it the third day. Why I didn't mention why yet, because they're not ready to tell me exactly when. They may try to fit it in with all these will be posted on your cluster boards.
Very good, thank you. All right, next item, discuss and adopt the 2024 operating and reserve budgets. You want to start that down? Or?
Budget. Yes. Many thanks to Tom Pensick and his group for the budget committee has been meeting diligently since July. What happens? The first meeting in July is to take a look at what's happening with this budget. And then to the following months, on a monthly basis, they get together. The committees submitted their budget, and they put it together, and they do everything that they can to massage it in such a manner that it comes in within a realistic amount. As we've already beat to death, the insurance is the main driver of what goes on. We have a cable increase built into the contract that lasts $5,000, 5%, which turns out to be $24,000 change of your raise. The rest of it, 800 and some odd thousand, is insurance, and everything other expense that we have is only up $6,800. So you can see insurance is really causing the issue. That's why we're working very hard to see how we could change. But it's for the board the board's had it now for a month. The owners have had it. I'm sure that some may want to address it. But today's the day that we make decisions.
Yeah, I was going to ask, get a motion.
How's this one working? Yep. Okay. I move that the board approve the budget as submitted.
Discussion.
His name sign. His name.
Yeah, Mark, I think you need to know. Yeah, go ahead.
Would it be advisable, Tiffany had given us some very specific numbers, and I wonder if the people would like to know just what those numbers are. Tiffany, do you have those? Because it demonstrates just how little of this budget is up to the board or the committee to try to offer a budget. If you could, Tiffany, I think it would be enlightening. Thank you.
Sure. It's very similar to what John Haggerty had just presented, but the percentages that I found, 96.1% of the increase, total increase, is insurance expense. 3% is cable and TV, and 0.9% is everything else rolled together. So insurance is a big issue. Would you also like the per unit breakdown, or was that sufficient? Yeah, okay. So on average, each unit quarterly expense will go up about $270. A little bit more if your square footage is larger, a little bit less if your square footage is smaller. But of the $270 total dollars, 260 of those dollars are for insurance. $8 approximately is cable and TV, and the remaining $2 is everything else rolled together. So the committees and John have done a great job at keeping expenses very low, and really the issue is the insurance.
Thank you, Tiffany.
One more thing I might want to add. The cable contract expires at the end of next year, or actually at the end of October of next year. And so we're already looking to, number one, alternates, which is primarily fiber optics. We've met with one company, there's another company coming. One company's already come out, measured the property, looked at it. They're going to be coming up with a proposal immediately. They're indicating to me that we pay about $62, $64 a unit a month for what we have now. And they're saying that fiber optics may run as much as $30, $35 more a month. But the receptions and other things, they'll tell you it's all good. One of the options also is to renegotiate with Spectrum. And I have had some positive feedback from one of the directors of community operations, I guess that's his title, that said that there could be, because of the competition or what have you, needing fiber optics, maybe we can get a break in this year's negotiation. So it's that's not going to be a fixed figure every year. So we're working on that.
Any other discussion? Looking online. Nobody on Zoom? No. Owners, your chance.
Oh, how?
There's a button on the top, hold it down till it goes green.
This one?
On top.
Didn't work.
There we go.
There we go. Please state your name.
My name's Douglas Haw. You got it closer. My name's Douglas Haw. I live at 407 Palm Tree. My question is about the property insurance. What would be the deductible that we would have? I mean, the last hurricane, I think there was $60,000 damage, and we wasn't even allowed to collect on the insurance because our deductible was. So what's the deductible on?
The deductible on the wind is 10%.
Oh, 10%.
So, and there's no coverage for flora and fauna anymore. They used to be. And the majority of our expenses over the last 3 storms, which total almost $225,000, are not claimable.
Yeah, right.
And that's part of the issue. That's the sad part of it. And most of it's cleanup of trees and things like that.
Is there a lot of hoops to go on the insured for $11 million instead of, I mean, it's just a thought, that's all I wanted to say.
Well, we're really going to try to work on that, and you'll find out in the next part of the agenda what we're going to try to do.
Good afternoon, Marjorie Boyd, 373 Springdale. I have a question about changing, I think you called them closer. I think you called them the founding doc, I'm on top of this. The founding documents. Okay, is that any better?
Not quite. Hello? No, try it. I'll give this to you. Yes, I did. So much static.
You're going under the table, so.
Maybe I'm charged. Okay, I think that's better. Marge Boyd, 373 Springdale. I have a question about everything went out.
TV's gone.
Maybe it's not me. Could I just ask a question and then you can rehash it? You were talking about the, I call them covenants, of the community, and changing possibly some of the language so that we don't have to have as much insurance coverage as possible. What percentage of the membership do you need to pass a suggestion to change the covenants?
Wait, can I ask?
You have to do it at a unit owner meeting where there is a quorum. And where there's a quorum, if there's a quorum, if 60% of the quorum votes yes, it passes. So our quorum is 281. So out of 558, 281 is the quorum. 60% of 281 is
About 100
It's not
about 200, around 200 people probably.
No, that's not working.
Okay, so because I'm used to an entire membership has to vote on it from Pennsylvania, and you need higher than 60% there, which is like impossible to change the documents. So it seems to me that this is a lot more achievable, especially if people can zoom in and you can get them to vote as well.
So it'll be done by proxy.
Okay, so I think that that's a good thing to pursue.
I think the toughest part will be getting the mortgage holders to agree.
You want to continue?
No, I'm fine.
Yeah, that's what our ad hoc committee that we're going to form.
Yeah.
The next item on the
Okay. Thank you.
These failed again. This one's working. The wired mics are working. These are not.
Yeah, this is fine. We'll pass it around. Yes, the question is, what happens is, and we'll talk about it in a minute, but a letter will have to go to all the mortgage holders requesting their approval. If they do not answer in 60 days, because many of them don't, then you can say that they're for it. So it may not be quite as hard as you think. We did do it about 5 years ago, I guess it was, when they inadvertently put flood insurance back in the documents, and we were able to get that out by doing the same thing. So it's not undoable. We just don't know. We'd heard at that time there were 280 mortgages at that time, so it's not any small figure to deal with.
Thank you, John. All right, next item on the... sorry. Anybody else? Okay, and then we need to have a roll call.
The motion is to approve the 2024 budget as presented by the Budget Committee.
Operating and
You didn't say that.
Operating.
I'm doing that right now. Okay, operating and reserve as presented. Okay, Cookie Finch. Roger Schultz.
Yes.
I agree. Shannon Young.
Yes.
Steve Gould.
Yes.
Dick Picola.
Yes.
Danny Palmer's not here. George isn't here. Monica's not here. Mark Howard.
Yes.
Tammy Alborn.
Yes.
Tiffany Conklin.
Yes.
Barb Carey.
Yes.
Gus Miller.
Yes.
John West.
Yes.
It's adopted.
Okay, thank you very much. That's adopted. Passed. Good to go. All right. Under new business. As discussed in the workshop, I'm going to establish an ad hoc committee to look into this insurance and changing the bylaws. And I'm appointing Marv Howard as the chairman, and he is going to take it from here.
Okay, I was going to go through a long explanation of everything, but it's already been done. So you know where we stand. We have an insane insurance issue right now. The only way that we can see to change that issue is to change our documents. Now, I'm not going to hold out a great deal of hope that we'll get it done in time for this year's insurance policy. because of all the machinations that we have to go through to do it. But what I am going to say to you is that we're doing everything we can to get it changed now. And it needs everybody's cooperation to get it done. So the first thing that I have is I have a motion. I'll give you a copy of it. I move to instruct management to have Wildwood Springs attorneys create an amendment to change Wildwood Springs governing documents or insurance requirements to comply with the Florida statute regarding replacement value. What that does is it puts us in a position of being able to make a judgment call on how much the insurance is, as opposed to saying it must be $92 million. Somebody asked a question about how much it will come down, and I've got a letter here from our agent talking about what might be reasonable. Closer? Yeah. Okay, thank you. The second part of this motion is that I motion to call an owners meeting to approve these changes for December the 18th, 2023, which is the same day as our next board meeting. Right. So that's the motion that I make. Somebody you can take it from there. Let me give you the information that I have from our agent. I talked to our agent, and John's talked to him many times. I just asked him to put it in writing. It appears that the break point for us is somewhere around $10 to $15 million of insurance coverage.
Less
total coverage. His opinion is that it doesn't make any sense. As soon as you start to go higher than that, it's not worth the money. So whether he's right or not, and what the insurance company is going to come out with, nobody knows. We really don't know. So what we need is we need the ability to deal with the world as we want it to be, which is let us make a judgment, as opposed to requiring us without any possible movement to have to do $92 million worth of insurance. Okay? That's $9 million the deductible. We've never made a claim that we got paid, have we?
Ever.
Never.
Hey, Myra, if I could just not interrupt, but there's one thing that I probably haven't discussed with you, and we should talk about. The $92 million wind damage is about 83% of our insurance
Absolutely.
bill. Okay.
It's all
Wait a minute, just so I can finish. We would not be reducing the coverage on anything else. It would only be the wind policy. So everything else would be insured up to $92 million, fire and that kind of stuff.
Understood. Understood. So we're truly talking about the wind damage. Okay. So what we need is A, we need to go to the attorneys and get the papers, get the stuff written so we can do it. B, we need to send it out to all you guys so that you can get it back to us in time for a meeting. We have to send it to you with 2 weeks notice so that my goal is to get this out by December 1st. We get it back so we can have a December 18th meeting. Now, I know it's going to pass, okay, because I don't see any nutty, insane people around here. I mean, I know it's going to pass. Okay. Once it passes, we have to go back to whoever has an interest, which is basically the mortgage holders. And we have to get approval, so we're told, of anybody, any mortgage company to change this because it changes their interest. That, we think, is going to be the tougher part, not getting you all to sign the papers that we should go do this. Okay. We're looking at some ways to do that now, and we may need somewhere along the way some volunteers for people to get on the phone or get information for us or whatever. So if you're going to be around here the rest of the year and you want to help us a bit, please let us know. But we got to get started with getting the attorneys working so we can meet these dates. The dates right now are primary. John, anything else?
No, other than the fact that, it is a compressed period of time, but in all reality with the holidays and everything else, things may not come in as quick, but quorum on the 18th, because we have trouble getting a quorum on our annual meeting. But should we not get it, there's still a little bit of time as well.
I'm aware of that. What I'm trying to do is telescope time and spend any time that we're running around dealing with the mortgagees and not having to deal with the owners. So I'm hoping we get it all out there. I'm hoping we get them back. You may get a phone call from me saying, where's your proxy? We need it.
Or worse.
Be prepared, because if we're going to get anything done for this year, we have to move like lightning. And this is an organization, this is a world where nothing moves like lightning, especially around holidays.
A question, if after, let's say what's happened, what will happen here, just doesn't get in time to be done by the time the insurance bill comes in, but it's done in April or May, will the insurance company take that into account and reduce our bill going from that point forward, or?
It's a good question, Barbara, and I don't know the answer right now, but I'll certainly research it, and I'll talk to Joe and see what he has to say. I'll talk to the agent and see if that's possible. Well, we're going to have, if we don't have it changed, we're going to have to pay it. Can we get a rebate? I don't know that.
Well, I mean, if my car insurance, I can go, after my bill comes in for the 6 months, I can go ahead and change the coverage and then adjust how much, you know, the bill will be more or less. So
I'm not saying it's not a good thing, I'm just saying I don't know.
Okay.
However, no matter what happens, if we get this done, it takes care of the future.
Yes. Right.
So that's the key. I started this by saying we can't live with this. And then I realized we might be able to get it done. So let's just get it done.
Yes, moving on. I move that the board authorize a... It's not working. Maybe,
All right, before you make any other motion, we need a second to the first motion. Tomorrow's, okay. Very good, we got a second. Discussion. Go ahead.
I move that we authorize a collection for our workers.
No.
We're not there yet?
No.
We can't have any motion till we vote on this one. Any other discussion on Mark's motion?
I just may want to say one thing. We might want to split it into two motions because you've got a direction to go to the attorney and then you call him for a meeting. So I think you can call them two motions, Mark, if you don't mind.
Well, I kind of do.
It's in A and B.
I kind of do mine. I do mine because my goal was to get a meeting by the 18th.
Oh, no. I'm just saying we vote on two motions today, but if we vote on A and B, fine.
I don't care. 2 motions, 7 motions.
I'm not trying to delay it. I'm trying to delay it.
All right, any other discussion on these A and B motions? Okay, roll call.
Okay, well, how I'm going to do the roll call is I'm going to have A and B, and I'm going to ask your vote on A, and then your vote on B. How's that sound? Okay. Here's A. Here's C. Cookie Finch. A. Yes. B. Yes. Roger Schultz. A.
Yes.
B.
Yes.
I say yes, A, yes, B. Shannon Young.
Yes.
A. B. Steve. A.
Yes.
B.
Yes.
Dick Picola. A.
Yes.
B.
Yes.
Mark Howard. A.
Double A.
B. Tam Alborn. A.
Yes.
B.
Yes.
Tiffany Conklin. A.
Yes.
B.
Yes.
Barb Carey. A.
Yes.
B.
Yes.
Gus Miller. A.
Yes.
B.
Yes.
John West. A.
Yes.
B.
Yes.
The motions both pass.
Thank you.
All right, very good, we'll get started on that. Okay, next item on the agenda is communications. Mr. Manager?
There was one communications period between the last meeting, and it was a finding letter, which is rare here, but we sent a letter to the owner of 114 and fined her $100 for repeated feeding of wild birds behind her unit, drawing a nuisance.
Very good. Okay. All right, every year we put out collections for the employees, but every year we need a motion to do that.
I better pass it to Roger.
No.
I mean, to Shannon.
Better before than later. Move to authorize the employee holiday collection, which has been really well funded in the past, will be again, I suspect.
Second, John West, thank you. I don't think we need to vote on it. Anybody opposed? Nope. Carried.
But, no, but this doesn't. This one does. Yeah.
It's already on there.
But do people know how reduced our staff is? And we now have, how many guys working on landscaping?
Well, we do have another employee back, so we're back up to stuff there. So, I mean, we've gone all summer with 4. So.
Four people making our place look so beautiful day in and day out. So give, and like will happen with the insurance thing. Don't make me come down there. Thank you. Give.
For anybody who might be new, this has been a practice for at least 15 years.
And as usual, like the top last year.
It was always nice. And it is for the hour employees. I do not partake in stuff.
Yes, this is something that they get in cash, and believe me, their wives drive over here that day. All right, that's done. Scheduling the 24th annual meeting date.
Yes, the documents call for the annual meeting to be the second Monday of March, which this year in 2024, next year in 2024 will be the 11th. So we bring it up now for the board to schedule it because by the time we have the January, well, we would have the December meeting, wouldn't we? Anyway, it's brought up now so we get the mailings ready and things of that nature. So a 60-day notice will go out. There'll be elections in every village, and all that information will be sent. But 1 o'clock would be the time here, apparently, for March 11th.
Okay. Manager's report.
Thank you. We've covered many of it, but the last couple issues are just added up to. Oh, here we go. Cover it up. I think I can remember it. The main backflow that feeds all our water system was recertified this year. It's the first time in 3 years that we haven't had to rebuild it for $3,500. So for some reason it stayed well. We've done some cleaning up behind areas that had former dead branches and dead trees over by Pool 6. We also cleaned up behind Unit 476. And we're in the process of changing all the pool filters. They last about 3 years, and they become torn and what have you, and that cost will be $3,500. We're in the process of changing that right now. That's basically what it had. I think we had 315, yeah, here it is. It's fine now. We had 352 either service calls or requests handled through the office since the last meeting. You can tell people are back.
Very good. Okay, committee reports. I'll start the building committee. We had a meeting today. Pretty much was talking about the second floor painting and sealing. We did pass and recommend last month a lot of people are getting these electric bikes, and we're requesting that nobody charge those bikes inside their condo. There's been a big thing with them catching on, the batteries catching on fire when they're being charged. So if you have one, or going to get one, when you charge it, if you don't have a back courtyard, out in the front courtyard while it's charging, you can park them inside when they're not using them, but do not charge one of these things in your unit. I saw a video of one that actually blew up, and they had somebody in the hallway, it was an apartment building, in the hallway, had a video going, and the flames just shot out the door and hit the other wall on the other side of the hall. So it's, not just bikes, any electric, scooters. I don't think anybody. Yeah, I've seen them too, the little one-wheelers. But I don't think anybody in here is going to ride on one of those. But any electric vehicle that's being charged should be done outside. That's all I got. Tammy.
For all you pool lover people, the heaters have been turned on, so we're back up to 86 degrees. For us weenies who were here during the summer, some of the pools were 97. You really get acclimated to that 97, and so when it's down to 86, you freeze. So letting you know, the pools are warm again. December 5th, Pool 2 at 10 a.m. is our next meeting, and I invite anybody to come. We inspect the pools like we will be inspecting Pool 2. And we look at the chairs, the tables, the pavers, the quality of the pool water. John was talking about the filters. The filters are what keep the water clear and beautiful looking. And that's how we maintain it. But we look at all of these things at every pool. And I think over the years that we've had it at the pools, every month a different pool, that the pools are looking in good shape for that reason. The courtyard sale will be February 3rd from 9 to 1. So if when you take your Christmas stuff down and start putting it away, start making boxes and stuff that you want to sell at the courtyard sales. Thank you.
February 21st.
Chris,
The IT committee is not going to meet in December. We will be meeting the first Friday in January.
John, do you want to do landscape? Landscaping committee?
Landscape, yes. Okay. One other thing that I didn't say earlier in the manager's report, we get calls all the time. Unfortunately, we've been unable to turn on the pumps, the fountain pumps in the lakes because the lack of rain. We're almost 30 inches behind. And if we turn them on, all we're going to do is suck up mud and ruin a $3,000 pump. So until Shannon gets on praying for rain for us, add that to your prayer. We have to leave those pumps off. Okay. Landscaping has had its meeting. As you noticed, gravel has been placed over the former gravel road. It's been about 4 years, and those stones get pushed down. So all places where it had gravel is taken care of. We do have an extra, or we finally filled out our landscaping crew with Eddie, with the new Ed. So we got like 3 Eds. If I say Ed around the crew, you're going to talk to most of them. He has had his own business and is working out very well initially. He's been with us about a month now. The next landscape meeting will be the third Thursday of January at the office, 10 o'clock.
Very good.
And incidentally, I'm doing that for Peter Farron, who this year couldn't get down until Christmas time. So, but he'll be back by the next meeting.
Thank you, John. Barbara, you want to do newsletter?
Newsletter is done now. I hope everybody's enjoying it. There's WWS newsletter at yahoo.com is the email address if you want to submit any suggestions for last year, or comments, or no criticisms. But yeah, I mean, one of the pages we're thinking maybe for next year already is maybe a page with pictures of all the employees of one of this association, so people put the faces with who they see around and what they do. So we're starting the list of what to prepare for the next newsletter 6 months from now. So look forward to that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Incidentally, Barbara, all comments have been great that I've got. Good job.
Yeah, that was a really nice thing.
By the way, all the ads do pay for the ink and paper, so this is at no cost to any of the owners. Wow. We collected, I believe, $640.
$140, expenses well under that, so
yeah.
It helps.
So it helps.
And we're doing it all in-house.
Yeah.
That'll help pay for insurance. Just a quick note on the tennis courts, pickleball courts, whatever. We are looking to, John and I are going to be getting at least the pickleball courts redone this next summer. Fixing the dead spots, getting the fences. Although we did move some nets around on the fences, it looks real nice now. And creating 6 courts. So hopefully we can get that done this summer and not killing our budget. That's all. Unless you guys don't want to.
Looking for tennis players. Come out in the morning. Right now we're playing Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, 9 o'clock. Everybody's welcome. It's a way to meet new people and get involved.
No, yelling.
Is this better?
Yes.
All right. Looking for tennis players. We're playing pickup tennis. Right now we're doing it Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, 9 o'clock. Everybody's welcome. There's pretty much an even level of play. If you haven't played in years but you used to play, come on out. If you want to play and you really want to run around instead of just stand there with a pickleball court and not moving too much. We may change the dates. We put notices up, but call me. Mark Howard. I'm in the phone book. I'm everywhere. The office knows where I am. If you have any questions, just call me.
Thank you, Mark. Director's comments. So start down this end. Dick, Cookie, Shannon. After me. Okay.
I'm going to speak as a director and as an owner. I know that many of you have seen that the building committee did put together and share a recommended checklist for anybody who is watching your condo while you're away. And I know for a fact that some of the people in this room do go away, as I did, as I used to do, but I won't be doing it anymore. If you have somebody that is diligently checking things, you find out that something's happened pretty quickly. And when the water came through my ceiling and soaked my floor and tore up the floor and the walls, I knew about it within a day of it happening. However, the issue was it had been happening for a long, long time, and the ceiling was soaked and the walls were soaked, and it just finally had so much that it all broke through. So I suffered a tremendous amount of mold damage, and probably more than a third of my condo was all ripped out down to the studs. But I knew about it quickly, and still had a lot of damage. If people aren't really checking, you might not know something happened. Because of what happened to me, one of my neighbors who only comes for 3 months out of the year allowed me to use his condo to store stuff while we were being renovated. And I was going over at least twice a week. He had somebody checking his condo. I don't know how often, but I walked over one morning and there's no electricity. If somebody's not that means your air conditioner's off. Turns out, we thought it was one of the phases. Turns out it wasn't the phase. The main tower breaker has failed. So now I'm waiting to get his condo back to electricity and waiting for a permit from the county to do electrical work. And they tell me that a condominium is a commercial property, does not qualify for an emergency permit. So it's 4 to 6 weeks to get a permit. So by the time we get done, this condo will have been without power for 2 months. I'm checking it almost every day to make sure the air is circulating and that there's no problems. But please make sure that if you're away, you have somebody that is diligently looking out for your interests. Thank you.
Yeah, a lot of people just have the neighbors. They walk in, they walk around. We've had some that end up with mold and that person never saw it. So make sure you have somebody that's good. We have a couple of guys on staff that do a lot of them here in Wildewood. So it's your unit and you need to take care of it.
I would like to encourage everybody to be generous with the employees this year. The ones that have been here for a while have worked really hard this year because they've been short-staffed, and so they've done the best that they could, and they need to be rewarded, so please, give generously.
Barbara?
Yes, I would like to suggest going forward that we have right now, I think 3 temporary services, Joan, 1 lady and 2 others. What?
We eliminated 2, but we got another one last week, so we got 2 now.
Okay. So
I'm sorry, we eliminated, we had 3, 2 have been repaired. 3rd one is waiting for Florida Fire Line permit.
Is that the one I need? Okay. I was just going to suggest we keep it as a line item under the building section for the open repairs. I mean, I'm sure they affect the budget. I'm not even sure. The surprise ones become unbudgeted and they're not cheap to replace.
We did talk about it at the building committee today, and we do have a $50,000 a year contribution in the reserves for building expenses, which that will be a very
that will be covered. Okay.
But that fund has to build up because we've exhausted it this year for sure.
Okay. Can we still add it as a line item just to keep up with the status of them? Right now, we have a safety issue by us because the landscape crew nicked the line. So
we'll have a line item from now on.
All right, thank you.
Gus. All right. Okay. Owners, your turn. Any owners have anything?
Okay. Hello, I'm J.D. belong to Assenstein from 274 Sherwood, and I just wanted to agree with Roger Schultz here about how important it is if you're not living 12 months out of the year for floods and things like that. But there is other ways to benefit from being out, and that is, for example, if your air condition goes out, you can get something called Ecobee, which we have in our place. And I monitor it all the way from Canada, from California, and Germany. So there are apps out there that can help you do this. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, a lot of people have those already.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Martins. I'm in 215 Sherwood. And I have a couple of questions. Number one, can you give me an update in terms of security? Have we had any issues, break-ins? Are we still monitoring all of the cameras? Do we still have the guys who drive around? I haven't seen them lately. Are they still coming around?
Currently, we are continuing with the guard service that comes around. They're on the property 4, sometimes 5 times an evening. Part of their duties is to check, make sure that only our residents are using the pools. Otherwise, they lock the pools at a certain time and then they unlock them at 4 o'clock in the morning for use. We have had no major incidents lately. Historically, most of our incidents have been of, the sheriff calls them, I don't know, that people leave the doors open, that their cars unlocked, and it's a problem all throughout the county. You know, but currently there's been no major issues of any kind.
Okay, that's good to know. The second thing, and you're not going to all agree with me, is the sign in the main entrance. Yeah, I know that we've done an interim thing, or we put up Wildwood Spring, and I would be happy to contribute if you would get a cost on getting a brand new sign, because we're such a beautiful area, and I don't think that it's reflected in the signage as Wildwood Spring as we enter. And if you don't agree, that's fine. The letter's appealing on. And the third question that I have is volunteerism. I mean, we have a lot of people who kind of, you know, do their own gardening and stuff, which is great. Do you ever have an idea that we could have a need that you could get volunteers by simply asking that we'd be happy to go out there and help clean up something or do something? So that's the questions.
Okay. If I may, that sign that's there now was done in-house 2 years ago. Okay. Many people commented positively, and a few have said our community deserves more. We did the whole thing for about $300 when we were looking at well over $2,000 or $3,000 professionally to have it done. So that's going to be up to the board whether they wish to decide that. Obviously, it's not me. Volunteer is great. I mean, this is one of the reasons this community is in good shape is the strong committee system. And I'm sorry, one of the reasons this community is so great is because of the committee system. We have so many committees that you hear about reports. We even have other committees that sometimes don't get reported. But the committees are always looking for more. There's never, I mean, if we have 7 on the grounds, we have to have 15. It's great. And some clusters are currently uniting to do some cleanup. I know that B cluster, where Gus resides, they've been going in and doing some palmetto beds and things like that, and kind of clearing stuff out. So you're welcome to do it if you want to. Contact me at the office. I'll put together something, or we can post something. We'll be happy to do it. But I think you're right. Volunteers make it.
Thank you.
We have a really nice, quiet place here, Wildewood Spring. I'm not sure I want to advertise it too much. I have friends that come in here and say, oh my God, I didn't know this was back here. And that's why the units sell pretty quickly in here, even now. But, you know, we could talk about it at the next workshop.
John, we did see 2 letters. There's one letter hanging off, is at the end. On both sides, going and coming, the end.
Oh, it's squeezed in. It's squeezed in.
No, it's actually coming away from the
end. He's coming down?
He says coming up.
The double U in the hand.
Yeah, both ways, going and coming. The entrance.
Okay, I'll look at it.
I'm back. So I agree totally with you with volunteer and how to do that. And I think we could all benefit from that. And what I'd just like to say is, for example, the railings that need painted in some of these units. I mean, I'd be willing to paint, and I've painted for years. And also, if you're looking for contributions for the sign, please let me know. I'd be willing to work there as well. Then on the second note, just wanted to find out what's the resolution on electrical cars for hookups. I know we had talked about it quite a while back.
We have devised a plan where we cut the sidewalks out and put a deco drain over it, and they drop the cord in it, and it's installed in 2 places. Costs $70, and the owners are paid for it.
So you have to make a request in order to get that done?
We do it in-house.
Wow, perfect. Thank you.
Anybody that wants an electric car, just cut a strip in the parking lot and the cement, drop the cord down, cover it up, take it out. Jan?
Jan Redden, X cluster. Any chance we can paint and or repair the lift station fence that is between Tidewater's entranceway and Oakview? It's very unsightly. I don't know if it's our responsibility, but maybe you know the powers
It's
that
county, and I can contact the county and see.
be. It really looks,
You know, it's not that old, but it's faded tremendously.
well, and they slop whatever, and it just needs, it looks bad coming in from 34th Street.
We don't want to talk about the whatever.
Amen.
Anybody else? Nope. Okay, Chris. We in the past have collected cans of food and boxes of dried stuff for St. Joe's Food Pantry. And we usually do it right before Christmas. You can take it to the office and eventually it'll end up at St. Joe's.
Yeah, some people have been very generous. We had literally carloads last year, so we'll find a space in the office.
Several years ago, there had been talk about having a committee called the Flower Committee, and people had talked about it. So if you want to get a committee together pertaining to, putting flowers or pulling the vines or things like that, start talking around, getting people together. Right now we are working on the operation manual, and we do have a whole list of committees that do work in the association.
Okay, any other? Next meeting. John, December.
I think it's 16th. No.
Workshop on the 12th. Meeting on the 18th.
At the office for the workshop, everybody's welcome, of course. That's where we set the agenda and discuss certain issues. And then the 18th will be back here.
Back here.
We need to have proxies for the 18th. I don't know if you want to have a meeting here. I don't know where you're going to have it.
We'll be here. I mean, there won't be that many people. We hope we'll have a lot of proxies. I mean, even the annual meeting, when we get 307, we only had 40 people at the meeting. We'll be here. It'll be here.
Get your proxies in.
Gotta get them to us.
We gotta get it out first. Okay, do I hear a motion for adjournment?